Hello, friends. Today we will be talking about why it's the best time to apply for study in UK. Now, before I start, I want to make sure that I clarify that I have no institutions where I teach people. I have no affiliation with any teaching institutions or agencies or overseas study educations in different countries. I am just doing these videos because I've been myself a student, and I faced all these challenges when I wanted to come to UK for studies, and I want to help people who are outside UK who would like to come to UK for studies, and I want to spread the word that if you want to achieve something, if you want to do something, and if you commit to it, you will be able to achieve it. And I did it myself, and I think you will be able to do it too. So let's jump into our today, what we will be covering today. So today we'll be covering about quality of education in UK. What are the different options for higher education in UK for you? Why United Kingdom? You know, and eight different statistics where nobody will tell you about. I've gathered it from different sources. Strategy to apply for higher education in UK. I will cover undergraduate courses and steps also, which are similar, so don't worry about it. University application deadlines for UK, and why now? So this is $1 million question. Why now? Why it is preferred to apply to study in UK now instead of a year back, or maybe a year later from now. Why it what it is which actually gives you more value if you come to study in UK if you do it now, you know so we'll cover that, and then I'll take some questions if you have, and then yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. So let's jump into the first bit, which is the quality education in UK. So UK is one of the topmost popular destination to study for higher education. They have 500,000 international students enrolling every year. I think the number one country is USA, where students go for studies, but UK is at number two. And the students in UK consistently performing really well, and that's why UK's education's world ranking is really really good. UK has really good reputation for world class reach. For example, Oxford University, Cambridge, Imperial College of London, London School of Business, etc., etc. Really good reputation. Um, UK's higher education degrees are recognized by employers and academics worldwide. So, for example, a lot of my friend who did a UK degree, they did post graduation in UK, and they are settled down in Dubai and Singapore and different parts of the world. So they are recognized everywhere around the world. Um, a student get the opportunity to develop the skills, knowledge, and critical thinking while connecting with people who are in their prime in their industry, and it's a really good place to connect with people who can actually teach you, mentor you forward for your career. High quality postgraduate study opportunities are available in UK. Some of the universities are offering sponsorship for tier 4 visas also. So it's one of the place where you can actually find a scholarship for study if you have the potential for it. So the quality of education in UK is really really good. And I must say that I have actually learned quite a lot after studying in UK, and I'm not sure how it would have been if I went to USA, because when I applied for UK universities, I actually did apply for USA also, and I got rejections. And I thank to the almighty power, if it is a god or whatever it is who actually got it rejected from USA. Because I think coming to UK was one of the best decision I made when I wanted to study. Right, so let's move on to the next option. So options for higher education in UK. So going to universities in the UK is a great way to expand your knowledge. You will meet various different kind of people, new culture, enjoy new experiences. You know, uh, there's a lot of support available in your universities if you come to UK for studies. uh, Really good student lifestyle, and there's lots of hobbies you can actually pursue if you are in UK. So for example, let me give you some examples. So if you're studying in UK, one of the best thing is, no matter which part of the world you're coming from, you will find your home food in UK, because UK is famous for all kind of food. So you will never miss your home food. For example, I'm from India. I came from a very middle class family, and I always thought before coming that I will miss my mother's homemade chapatis. Apparently in UK there are multiple areas where you can actually go and buy chapatis, and that's not the one which is made by machines. They are made by hands, by people. So that's pretty inspiring. And I have Brazilian friends who take me to Brazilian restaurants. I have Mexican friends, and I love tacos. And a lot of other cultured people. So it's really really nice place, and there's lots of options for you. So for example, benefits. So for example, there are 50,000 different courses in 25 subject areas in UK. you know uh, UK courses are generally shorter than other countries. For example, if you do a graduation in USA, it lasts for 4 years. In UK, it's 3 years only. It reduces your overall tuition fees and accommodation cost for you. If you do a post graduation in UK, you might find quite a lot of post graduation courses for only 1 year. That is fantastic, because I personally know in India, post graduation is minimum 2 years. It's minimum 2 years, and you have lots of expenses, not just the tuition fees, but accommodation, living cost, survival, etc., etc. And the best thing is, you can actually study as well as work while you are studying in the UK. So there are some restrictions while you are on a student visa, but it is possible. So that makes it more interesting, because obviously if you're working, you can make money and you can reduce your living cost together. Okay, so let's move on to the third point, which is why United Kingdom. So I have explained this in my previous videos also, that United Kingdom is made up of England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. Each country has its distinct regions and offering large cosmopolitan cities. For example, England's capital is London. Then they have Manchester and Birmingham, very big cities. Then when you go to Scotland, it's Edinburgh, Glasgow. Then when you go to Northern Ireland, it's I don't remember which was the capital of Northern Ireland. I think it's never mind. I'll get it later. So in Wales, you have Cambridge. So all these big cities, have lots of opportunities available. It's a multicultural society. So if you are Hindu, if you are Muslim, if you are Sikh, if you are Christian, or even if you are atheist, doesn't matter. You have similar cultural people around you, as well as everybody respects you around here. So one of the biggest difference I have noticed when I came to UK is, you can't save a lot of money by staying in UK and supporting your family, until unless you reach to the point where you make hell lot of money, and then save a lot. But the best thing is, the living standard is so high, and people around you are generally very respectful. It's not like other countries where you go and people judge you by your dressing sense or by how much money you can spend or what car you drive or what vehicle you have. People respect you no matter from which background you're coming from. That is the best thing in UK, and I'm guessing it's similar in different countries. But I have been to more than 63 countries till now, and I felt that UK is the best place to come for studies, at least for students from India. Because everybody respects you, they welcome you, and they make you feel home, so you don't actually miss back home. Right, so let's move on to the next one, which is eight different stats nobody will tell you. So there are 395 universities and college offering 50,000 undergraduate level higher education courses across the UK. UK higher education applications are made through UCAS. You can also make application via individual university websites for post graduation courses. There are different deadlines for application for different courses and for different university. I'll speak about it later. Obviously, you will need to pay the tuition fee, and these vary depending upon the university and college and the course you choose. You may be eligible to get financial help with your tuition fee or a scholarship. However, if you're a student from European Union, you're not subject to tuition fee in Scotland for now. The amount of money you will need to recover living costs will vary based on where you study. So if you're in London, it's higher. If you are in a smaller city, it tends to be lower. Many international student needs to apply for a visa to study in the UK. That's quite obvious, but there are work permit restrictions and some English language qualifications you may need if you are not from EU. Universities advise all applicants what standard of English is required for their courses, and most courses providers will ask you to demonstrate proficiency in English. Some university actually take your interviews also before issuing you an offer letter, so bear that in mind. First year students tend to live in university halls or residence around the university, but there are a lot of other accommodation options available for students in UK. Right, so these are the 8 stats which I wanted to share with you. Now let's move on to the strategy. So quite a lot of people asked me in my previous video, how we should prepare for our education in UK. What strategy we should put in place. So I think it's on a very high level. It's just a 3-step process. So the step 1 is you prepare to apply and you gather all the information which you need, and then there's a language requirements thing which you have to get. Because without that you won't be able to apply for it. Well, you will be able to apply, but you will not get the offer letter, and then the required application documents which you need to gather. So let's go through each step one by one. So the number 1 step is prepare to apply. So the first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that you choose the right degree. There are bachelor's degree, there's master's degree, and different specialization for different interest. So you need to understand which degree you want to apply for. So it depends. If you are a law student, if you're a medical student, if you are an engineering student, or if you are an art student, it all depends upon that, from which background you're coming from. I would personally suggest that if you're from a country like India, if you had done your graduation and if you have at least minimum 3 years of work experience, that actually gives you benefit while applying for higher education in UK, because your experience counts while you're applying for UK universities. International students outside EU pay full tuition fee at UK universities, which is going to be the case for EU student soon after Brexit for England, I guess. And your scholarship eligibility depends upon which university you're going for, which course you're applying for, and what is your academic background. So that also affects. There is a entry requirement. So if you need to take any language test such as IELTS or TOEFL, that's mandatory. I would suggest prepare for IELTS for at least 3 months, and then attend the exam and get 7.0 minimum in each band, and that will get you into almost most of the universities in UK. um, I would consider hiring an experienced advisor to guide you through the application process, although it's not impossible without an advisor to apply for a university. So there's a caveat. So what I'm trying to say here, if you have somebody experienced who has gone through all these steps, they will be able to help you, and they will be making sure that you don't make any mistakes, or even if you're making, they will try to mitigate it. But it's not entirely impossible to do it yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Step two, in the step one, there is two bits I wanted to speak about. So for undergraduate students, all the application for bachelor degrees in the UK are submitted using the UCAS application website. So what you need to do is you need to go on UCAS website. I will leave the link in the description. Register and create your application. You apply up to 5 programs at the same or different universities in the UK. You need to complete the personal information, and if you have any questions about how you would be completing the personal information, just put the questions in the comment section. Always include previous educational qualification. It's one of the most important bit. Add your financial information. Write a personal statement. Remember to spend at least a week on writing a personal statement. That actually matters. Some universities may require additional tests such as UK CAT or BMAT for medicine and LNAT for law degrees. So you need to keep an eye for that too. You can save your application and return to it as many times as you like before submitting the final version. So that's quite straightforward for undergraduate students. For postgraduate students, people like who want to do MBA or other master degrees or PhD student, they can all apply directly to their chosen universities. Most universities allow you to send your application throughout the year, but some degrees courses have their own deadlines. It's best to conduct your chosen university to find out specific details about their graduate application process. You can apply via UK Pass system. You can complete all your details online and scan and upload any required documents such as copy of your passport and previous bachelor's degree certificate, etc., etc. And for PhD programs, applicants are usually expected to also choose a suitable supervisor at the university. Now, for postgraduate students, always get a reference letter from your university dean or head. It always helps. So if you have graduated from a well-known university, that would add quite a lot of value. Go to your university, speak with your teachers or head of the departments or the dean, get a reference letter typed with you, get their signature, and ask them to provide you the reference letter. Always keep the copy of it with you, and you will need at least 2 of them. If you know somebody like a collector in your city or some bureaucrat who has a well-known position in government, get a reference letter from that person. It will affect your application because that will add quite a lot of credibility on your application. Okay. Next, step 2, language requirement for the UK university application. Now, if you're from India, just like me, I would suggest go for IELTS. That's the best way going forward because it's not that hard. I mean, at least well, for majority of people, if you speak English and you take this test, I think within 3 months of preparation you will be able to crack it. There's TOEFL, there is C1 advanced level exam. So I don't know much about C1 advanced, but TOEFL and IELTS are similar. So you have to prepare for it. You need to give 3 months to get this certification done for you, right? You can't skip it, and you can't skip it. It's there, and it's one of the mandatory thing. Number three, required application documents. So, along with your personal information, you will need to submit photocopied evidence confirming your identity and academic history. So, for example, you need to submit your birth certificate, your passport, your national identification card. So, for Indian students, they will need their Aadhaar card, the reference letters. See, I mentioned that before, and evidence of English competency, which is again IELTS, copies of degrees, diplomas, etc., academic transcripts, very important. Graduate application may also be required to submit a research proposal, right? So remember that these are some of the required application documents which you have to prepare before applying for a degree course. So there are a couple of things which I want to mention before we go to the next slide. So all the documents copies will have to be verified by a professional authority who will confirm their authenticity. So for example, you go and get it notarized, or you get it authenticated by one of the bureaucrats or well-known first class officers. If a document or statement is not in English, an official notarized translation may be required. So some of the universities in India, they don't give you degree certificates in English, or some of the universities, so like mine, they gave my degree certificates in English as well as Hindi. So that worked out pretty well. But not all the universities in India does that, and I'm not sure about the other countries. So what you need to do is, if it is not in English, you need to get it translated and notarized. In some cases, universities may ask for additional documentation after you have submitted your application. So to avoid delays or missed deadlines, send your evidence with plenty of time in advance. Yeah, that why I'm saying that, because if you're applying last minute, and if the university wants something from you before they issue you the offer letter, and sorry, while in the transaction, excuse me, while in the transaction you're not able to provide them the document, then you will lose a whole session, and that's not good for you. So always apply with quite a lot of contingency. Right. Let's look at the university application deadlines for the UK. So university application deadlines, are different for different universities. So there's one deadline in mid October. These are the deadlines for all medicine, dentistry, and veterinary medicine courses. One is mid-January, which is UCAS deadline for EU students. High-ranking universities will not accept bachelor's application after the UCAS application deadline is done. Then next one is end of June, international students from a non-EU country, and many universities have different deadlines for international students. So you have to check their website for that. And in August, the UCAS clearing process, university open up all their remaining places from the university applicants who still wants to start their degree studies in the current academic year. Now, a quick tip for you. If you're applying for a post-graduation course in UK, so I would strongly suggest you to apply in the January batch. Reason, when you start your course in January, it will finish either within a year or in 3 years, right? And when you finish it in the year, December is the time when it finishes, which is the Christmas time. Companies stop hiring when you reach at December. Companies start hiring in mid-January. So the moment you finish your course, you get 10 to 15, 20 days gap, and then you can start applying for jobs. And that's where companies are very aggressive to recruit people, and it will really help you. You can also apply for the September August batch. uh, it's just once your course is finished, and you need to wait like for quite a while to get into that current of regressive recruitment going on. So I personally suggest that if you join a January batch, it would be better for you if you're looking to work in UK after your degree, right? And obviously if you want to work, the job you will get, they need to sponsor you for the job, and you get a visa to work in the UK for that. So that's also dependent, and we can talk about it later. Okay. Now, final steps after receiving your acceptance letter. So once you've prepared for your application, you got your IELTS exam cracked, you got all your documents submitted and everything. Couple of things you need to remember is you need to get your health insurance. If you're coming from a non-EU country, you will need an insurance. If you're coming from a European Union, and if your EHIC is not valid, you will have to pay 80 to 160 euros per month to cover this. Um, for the UK students visa, if you are coming from outside the EU, you might need to register at a police station within 7 days after your arrival in the UK. This is only required if your visa sticker in your passport states police registration. So remember that nowadays, when you get a student visa stamped on your passport, you come to UK, and then that visa is only valid for a month, and then when you arrive into the UK, you go to a local post office and then get your permit, which is the visa card there. Now, if on the stamp, if you have a police registration mentioned, then you have to go to a local police station and register yourself there with the information provided. Some UK universities require you to pre-enroll online on the university website before arriving in the UK. So that's something you need to remember while considering, coming to UK after getting the offer, right? Okay, next, move on to the next slide. Why now? $1 million question. Why it is really good time for you to apply for study in UK. So I want to take it step by step. So first point is Brexit. Brexit removes the ability to work for various countries by default. So for before Brexit, what used to happen is the labor market in UK was a little bit of complicated. So before Brexit, if a student comes from European Union countries and he's or she is studying in UK, they can work full time in UK, and that was really good for UK economy because people used to study as well as work, and they used to get paid. But for the international students, they would not be able to do that, because what they need to do is they come to UK on a visa, but they will be only able to work for 20 hours, I think before 2012, and then after that they reduced to 10 hours. So because the Brexit has happened, and in December we will be out of European Union, it will be easier for everyone to come to UK for studies, and the labor market will be open with equal opportunity. So after Brexit, everyone will be treated equal in the labor market. So that's what I explained just now. So if you come as a student, you will have only 10 hours of work permit currently, and you will be able to work 10 hours every week and then make money, and then support yourself for your living cost. And it will be same for every other student. Doesn't matter if that student's coming from EU, doesn't matter if the student coming from Brazil, doesn't matter if the student coming from USA. It's same. Now the third most important point is this COVID-19 lockdown. During the lockdown, 3-4 months, UK has lost quite a lot of GDP. Every other country has lost that. Now what will happen is to boost the market, UK will change some policies for students. That's what I'm guessing right now, and I can see that because the legislation law, security legislation law in Hong Kong caused UK to invite all the citizens from Hong Kong to get a citizenship in UK with a easy medium. So I'm guessing that once we are out of lockdown and once we are in a position to get overseas students in the country, there will be some benefits added to the UK education visas and people who would like to come here. And that said, it makes this time is the best time to come and apply for study in the UK. And if you have any other questions related part-time job, if you have any other questions related what kind of job I can get after the degree, what are the visa requirements related to it, how the university treat you, etc. Just put it in the comments and I'll reply it back to you. Okay. Right. So, average total budget for your studies in UK. So, I think it's my personal view that if you choose a nominal university or college or course, depending upon which course and subject you choose for, your tuition fee will be around £10,000. And then if you choose to live in an average dorm or a rental apartment, then it will cost you £10,000 for the year. That is my analyzed data, because I have been in touch with a lot of students from around the world who come to UK for studies, and that's what they think. I think in an average, £20,000 is what you're looking for. Now, couple of things. If you're from India, you have quite a lot of education loans and financial supports available for you in your state. So if you couple of states I know about. So Maharashtra, they provide quite a lot of subsidy on the loans for your higher education outside India. They also provide quite a lot of sponsorship for people with good academic background, and they also provide quite a lot of financial support to ladies there. Yeah. Same way in Madhya Pradesh, which is the central state of India, quite a lot of sponsorships are available there too. So if you don't have this kind of budget with you, I would suggest you can reach out to those authorities who can provide you this kind of help. Now, if you have any other questions like how you can get financial support, put it in the comments and I'll let you know, because I supported a couple of people who wanted to come to UK for studies, but I also gave them some direction which helped them quite a lot depending upon which state you're coming from in India. And sorry for the people who are not from India, because I don't know much about your financial and government policies, so I can't help you, but feel free to ask questions in the comments. Right. So this was the end of the video. If you think you like it, just give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to see your comments below. Thank you.